Saddam, how are you?
I'm okay, how are you?
Welcome back. We have Saddam here and we've been talking right off the camera, and so I couldn't control, first of all, talking to you. But welcome. We are going to the different segment, and here Saddam will be bringing us what's on the ground. We've been hearing these hiked prices and they are driving us crazy. So you are here, you're the doctor, you have to solve this problem. What's happening on the roads? Why is everything changing all of a sudden?
Well, it is obvious that whenever we reach the festive season, that is the time that these drivers have to make money as well. So that is why you will see that, the transport sector right now, the fares have really gone high, because the demand for, people to travel from the cities to up countries or even to different countries within the region is really high, because there are people that are traveling from Dar es Salaam. Most people here in Uganda do have investments in Kenya, mostly Nairobi, and they do their tradings that side. So there is that need, and they are coming back home, and when the demand is high, it is very obvious that as a driver I have to make at least money out of it, because it is just a season. I
actually thought that when demand is high, it helps you get more money, but on a stable price. If you've been getting 30,000 in February when you had about 5 people traveling, it's now December, you have millions of people traveling, so the 30,000 will definitely double and multiply. Why do you increase it even more?
Well, that is something that I have to use it as an advantage to benefit myself. That is, I think, what is on the ground. Not think, but that is what is on the ground, because these drivers are actually hiking the prices, because first of all, we have limited transportation facilities. The buses that are traveling within the region and from the city to different cities are very few in number. If I give you an incident of the Kenyan multi-billion bus, that is the Modern Coast, its license was revoked of recent by the national authority, the National Road Safety Authority of Kenya, in a bizarre accident that saw the two buses. You can imagine that, a Modern Coast bus and a Modern Coast bus colliding and killing. The 7 people died on board, and the 2 drivers also died. Actually, the 2 drivers who are even relatives died on the scene. So it is something that has catalyzed the prices to go high. Yeah, because if the buses are few in the market, then the remaining few are going to make advantage of it. But if there are many in the market, then you know what it means. It means that it will go high. But the most dramatic point of it is that people who are traveling from here, from Kampala to Nairobi or to any other city, let's say Juba, Kigali, Dar es Salaam, the prices are still normal. But buses that are traveling from Nairobi to any other city within the region, the East African region, the prices have gone high.
And why is that?
It is because of the demand. People are many and the buses are few.
So many people are traveling from Nairobi to the rest of the region, and few people are traveling from the region to Nairobi.
Yeah.
So what exactly is the cause of that? That's what I want to understand. Why are people running away from Nairobi?
No, because you see, Kenya is the backbone of the East African economy.
Yes,
so most people do practice their tradings and their investments in Kenya.
And that would make it very costly to move from Uganda to Kenya if you had to go there all the time, but it seems it's the other way around. People are traveling from Nairobi to go and invest in Uganda or to go and shop in Uganda.
Not really that, but people are going for festive season celebrations.
Outside of Nairobi.
Yeah,
it means that's where they've been all year round.
Yeah, that is why they've been, so now they are heading back to their homes and places to have a festive season celebration.
Okay.
So that is why all that is happening. But from here to any other place in East Africa, actually the prices have remained the same. And of course, rain has also affected, these interstate buses that are traveling from, they even reach up to Zambia, Lusaka. So Zambia has been experiencing very heavy rains, and as a result, the buses have not been moving. So the few buses that are traveling from here to those particular areas, they have to hike up their prices.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you have no choice, you have to travel with them.
And so now speaking about back home in Uganda, we've got a couple of buses, so many actually, that travel up country, but the prices are still really increasing at a very terrible speed. What's the cause of that too?
You see, just like I've told you earlier, that if something comes to my advantage, then I have to make use of it. This is the moment, this is the time that, you know, these people, and I talk to them that why, because the oil has, the prices for the fuel has not gone high, but then it is because that this is the time when they have to make money out of you.
So
they
this is
that you are spending, and therefore.
So this is a passenger driver fare where there is no interception. For example, where authorities can come in and say, do not go this high, do not do this.
That is the irony of it. I do not know, because these bus terminals do have the administration, do have the chairpersons that lead, these associations. So the problem is that I do not understand how. Because you'd even go, there are placards there that indicate that from maybe, let's say, from Kampala to Jinja, from Kampala to Mbarara, you're supposed to pay this amount. From Kampala to Busia, you're supposed to pay maybe 15,000. But now, if it is from here, if you go to the tax park themselves, the placards, they cover the prices so that when you come, they tell you their own prices. And this is where the regulator does not come in. So we do not know whether who is supposed to control, these prices, because the regulator himself is not coming in to curtail.
Do you think that maybe prices, even the regulator does not exist?
Not the regulator is there, but the regulator is there, but then I don't know why they don't come in to make sure that this doesn't go high, because at the end of the day, it is affecting, the normal Ugandan, the common Ugandan.
And it's affecting business, of course.
Yeah.
If I had things to do and the prices were that high, I think I would have to wait until January for me to travel.
You actually have no choice, because that you have to do it, because now there are people who are thriving on that, during this festive season, and this is the time that they have, customers. So at the end of the day, you have to go and buy something. You have to also increase the price. That is why even right now.
Speaking about increasing prices, the commodities have really gone bizarre. Yeah. What's happening in the markets?
It is the other way around. All these are factors that are contributing to that.
But it's just a festive season?
It is a festive season. The transport has gone high. So if I'm doing business, that means I have to also get something out of it. I have to increase the prices on what I'm buying, because if I'm traveling from Busia to Kampala or from Mbarara to Kampala to buy something, of which that from the person that I'm buying to maybe has imported it from Kenya, they have already charged him more. So which means he also has to charge me so that he gets a profit. So when I get this particular product, if I'm coming from a particular city, which probably means that I also have to increase the price of that particular commodity, and that makes the whole thing and the whole system to go crazy.
And when various analysts speak, they say that Ugandans overspend, Ugandans are careless during the festive season, they overspend. But would one have a choice if you had to live amidst all of this? You've got hiked transport, you've got hiked prices of goods. What do you do as a person to even survive? Because when January comes around the corner, we shall be pinned for misbehaving with our monies, but then I noticed that there is no escape, there is no way out.
Yeah, there is no way out. You either trade or you don't trade. You either eat or you don't eat. So that is what is on the ground, and that is why even these traders are so proud. They know that at the end of the day, you have no choice. You have to buy what they are producing. So it is a situation of, I have no choice. I have to go for this, because that is what is there.
All right, so we've got no choice, but we have to eat. So tell me, what are commodities like? What are the prices like? How is meat performing? How are beans going? And how are, genus and peas, the rest of the food?
Well, during this festive season, and you'll agree with me that there are particular commodities that their prices go high and others don't. Now, for example, beans, it is, we have constructed this reality that it is during the festive season that, people have to eat chicken, people have to eat meat, people have to, and that is what is, if you go to, some of these, local, rather rural areas, I'm not sounding melodramatic, but that is what is on the ground. This belief that it is the festive season, so this is the time that we have to eat the so-called, fatty foods and stuff like that. So the prices for those particular commodities like chicken and meat and so on is what is increasing because their demand is high. And then things like beans and peas and what, these are things that are not so much consumed during this festive season, and even their demands are high and their prices remain constant.
Dramatic indeed. Now if you are thinking of going to the market, actually you now have an idea what to buy. You are going to buy beans, my dear sister, because it seems that the other side is too congested. You have to go on the other side for now. Maybe you can go back to the meat in January, who knows, if you're able to save some money off, the beans that have remained normal or even gone low. So speaking about all those commodities, so how can one access the commodities? What places are more reliable as you were doing your rounds? Because I noticed downtown is so busy, it's just congested. You only risk losing your smartphone if you move down there.
Well, it depends with which particular commodity you want to buy. Because
Uganda has got commodities everywhere. If you went to Kalero, you would find the same things everywhere. So what places are more reliable in this case?
Well, if you're talking about in terms of the prices, maybe the commodities that are cheap, it still depends.
Access, prices, quality, everything put together. So
when, there is this, if you're not going to tell me that maybe you go to a shop in the city center, and maybe this shop is selling clothes, and then there is someone who is on the street doing the same business. The prices cannot be the same, because the person that is in the shop is simply paying taxes, is paying rent for that particular place, and electricity and all those other bills. So this simply means that he has the prices of his particular commodity has to be high, but the person who is hawking on the street, the prices have to be low. It is now the same with someone who is trading in Kalere, which I believe that there are different rental dues and taxes that are paid for someone who is operating in maybe, let's say, Naria market, and for someone who is operating in the city or even in Kalere. So the point of access and the costs of different commodities deter from there. I will charge according to what I'm charged, and maybe someone in Kalere is not as charged as high as I do. So the point of access is really important, and to me it would be that if you want to go for cheap kind of commodities, then those are the areas to go to. You go to the shop, and then a trouser is at 60,000, but when you go somewhere else in maybe Wandegea or any other place, it is cheaper compared to that.
Meanwhile, that thing of people trading in front of your shop and you being inside and paying taxes and paying rent, how is that thing being taken? Are the traders inside okay with it?
That is the major problem that we have, and you see the problem we have, and the problem, I was engaging with one at a certain point when I traveled to the up country. I went to Kakiri, which is a bit 29 kilometers away from the city, and these traders have the same problem. There is a market, and then there are people operating outside the market, actually on the road. So if you want to buy something inside that market, you have to move and then enter that particular market for you to buy something. But remember, you can't do that because there are people who are already operating outside here, and the people that are operating inside the market have to pay taxes, have to pay rental dues, have to pay bills.
So why hasn't it been resolved yet?
It is a conflict of power. It is about who has more authority than who, because at that particular moment the traders could tell you that the RDC of this particular area said that you have to trade outside, and then people inside the market are saying that now what are we going to do? It is
why would an RDC say that we have to trade outside? Are those people that he has hired?
No,
are those working for him?
It's not for him, but just like I've told you, it is the conflict of power. If I don't do that, then 2022 is, they are not going to vote me, maybe they are not going to...
Oh, there is that. There is politics
conflict,
too.
It is actually political.
Yeah.
So it is about the conflict of power. who has more power than the other. If I have the power to say that no, hawkers are going to remain in the city, the other party is saying, the minister is no, hawkers are not. So it is about the conflict of power, and that is the biggest problem that has affected, you know, these people. So it is, you'll find that they also have no choice. They have to bear that pain. Yes.
Very unfortunate. So there is the road expansion network going on around Kampala, and the UNRWA is coming for people that are within, you know, the road reserves, about 25 kilometers close to the road and 15 kilometers still close to the road, depending on the areas where you are. So have the traders heard about this? Are they ready for the move?
Well, the first thing that I would expect the UNRWA to do is to sensitize the masses about the programs that they are doing, which I'm not sure whether they did. But indeed, if they did, then it is important that maybe the people that they are dealing with, you know, maybe have this in mind. But then the irony of it is that if someone is trading on the road, you know, these are not recommended places for you to do your business from. So that automatically means that I may not have the monopoly to tell you that you have to leave this place or you have to go, because you are not supposed to operate from here. Why do I need to tell you that you have to leave this place for me to do my development construction?
Okay, that should be taken, and we shall be going for a break shortly. But before we go, I need to know about the Bubu policy. How has it worked for traders? What's the response? Are people buying Uganda and building Uganda, or are people buying America and building Uganda?
Well, the Bubu idea is indeed a good one if we want to develop, you know, the locally manufactured infrastructure products from within our country. It has worked actually for most of the countries. Like in Kenya, they had Nunua Kenya, Jenga Kenya, which simply means buy Kenya, build Kenya. Has it worked in Uganda? It has actually worked for them, that side. But in Uganda, we still have this construction of you know, what we are producing is not up to the expectations of what I want. And so who is supposed to make it better? Maybe the government should come up with the policies to put, maybe, you know, to control the products that are entering from the outside. No. I'm a regular Ugandan who really respects my health and who loves my health so much. I'm not going to buy low quality products. And you, the government, you put a ban on products coming from where, or maybe control them, and I buy fake products from here. So it is the manufacturers now. Now that is where the problem comes in. If you cannot manufacture what meets my expectations, then I have no choice. I have to buy something that fits what I want. So it means that it's either you increase on the quality of what you're producing, or, you know, or we head to Kenya. We go to Kenya. Okay. Thank you very much, Saddam. It's been a pleasure having you. Okay, I'll see you next time, but I'll see you after Christmas. Okay, we shall be going for a short break. Stay tuned. And that was the market update for you, telling you what's happening outside there as you are in the confines of your home. Get out when you are ready to experience Uganda at its best. We shall come back right after the break. Don't go away.